Hi. So, be afraid. I want you to know stuff now. I've conspired a little theory for you. So I saw a movie recently. It was about insurance fraud in the acting business. And there were a few actors in it. There was the guy, Zach Braff, strange, small role, small person, casting-wise. But there was also, oh my god, his name escapes me at the moment. He was in The Irishman, and he was also in Joker. And he's Robert De Niro, massive roles, great pinnacle point in his careers, this Irishman movie and all these kind of things, and very dignified, very nice position to be in, like after that you're going to want good roles. But anyway, he was in this crappy movie, and Morgan Freeman were also in this crappy little low budget film, terrible little film about her insurance fraud in the movie industry. Now, none of these actors were actually in this movie. Like, Zach Braff might have been, but I doubt it was actually real Zach Braff. He probably is. These were all doppelgangers. And this is a massive business in America. Every president has like 4 doppelgangers. Pop stars, like, you go to a Lady Gaga concert, it's not really her or something like that. And they make TV appearances, it's not really them. And it's a massive, really big business, and the security and the discretion of this business is very, it's a real, legitimate and very legal thing. So you got all these doppelgangers. Okay, now if you run a doppelganger company, there's a scary kind of thing is, like, are these original actors still alive? Are they dead? Do these doppelgangers have like rights of their own to make movies because the name or something is a produce, and they can make their own films and use like Robert De Niro's image, and it's somewhat legal or something like that? They could have killed the original actors. They could have murdered the original actors and replaced them with doppelgangers. And then when they get the insurance claim, either one way or the other, they could kill the doppelganger or something like this and collected the insurance. And they say, we don't want to affect the franchise of Robert De Niro. We want to still make Robert De Niro films, and we're still able to make Robert De Niro films. But he died, and we don't want to publicise it to the mass media in any sort of way. So either doppelgangers are dying, there could be synths, technology is pretty cool these days, or they could have been just lookalikes that had a lot of surgery or kind of, I heard they've got coral technology that they can just make people very instantly out of DNA and stuff like this, that they can just practically fabricate them like coral fabricates. So, why would you replace them for insurance or for the franchise or for their names or whatever like that? But if you were running one of these companies, okay, it's scary enough kind of thought to have the people out there are doppelgangers, or famous pop stars. A pop star might have died, they might replace them. And when they die and replace them, actually they can use their name in Alexa a lot easier, so they can actually produce kind of like their best works and their best films and a lot of their best. So I think Zach Braff might have been killed very early on before Scrubs was ever made, and the original actor was used through Alexa to make these shiny kind of semi-unrealistically perfect TV drama kind of thing. It's not exactly, Scrubs is a little bit too, squared around the edges. I don't know. Anyway, if you ran one of these companies anyway, of this massive business probably of doppelgangers and replacements and lookalikes and security things, think about it for yourself. What would you do? Like, I make doppelgangers of presidents and famous rich people. Apart from like if you can replace a famous rich and famous person with your doppelganger, and then all their money is yours, all their estate is yours. You just replace them with a doppelganger, and then everything that they own, you just tell your doppelganger to sign it over here and just pretend to keep on living, or have a fight with your spouse, or do something like that. So if you did this business, would you not kind of think of this chess maneuver that I could replace a president of a country? Like, not by his wishes, but I could just doppelgang and replace presidents. And you see Myanmar and this country out east had something like this happen to the president. Something big happened in Russia with Putin, and there was some sort of attack or something happened, and no one would talk about it, and there was massive security lockdown all over the Kremlin. And then they showed a picture of this island with a big mansion on it, and they're like, oh, look at the size of the mansion that Putin's staying in, as if to say he's alive, he's well, we're just criticising the size of his mansion. Which is more like to say, oh, he's alive and he's well and we know where he is. But they wouldn't even tell you. The governments wouldn't tell you. And they probably realise this happens when someone dies. They're like, oh, let's stay quiet about it. I learned on the streets, like, if something happens, you stay quiet about it, because then the first one that talks about it knows about it. So you can find out the trail of the information by kind of, like, everyone stays quiet until you hear something on the street about it. So they'd all stay quiet about it. You could lose, the Queen of England could disappear and nothing would be said. Boris Johnson could disappear and nothing would be said. They could do this all very swiftly and very, like, during COVID, during a lockdown when everybody's at home and everybody's on low security and nobody exactly is sure keeping up with everyone because they're all checking in on themselves, kind of thing. And it could have been just like a phase 2 operation or something like that. It replaced lots of people, lots of presidents. I think my president's replaced by a fucking Swiss doppelganger, Swiss American doppelganger. Like, there's no justification of the ignorance to the amount of communications and things that are going on in the country. And he just turned around the other day and he elected all the High Court judges. All the High Court judges in Ireland were elected by someone, who's like, maybe a fucking doppelganger. So yeah, this is just not considered. Like, people just see on TV. I saw this other film just there the other day, the Equalizer 2. There was some Asian man painted black with a bald wig cap on his head, going around doing kung fu moves and saying he was Denzel Washington. He was an Asian man. I could tell by his eyes and his face. He was an Asian man with a skull cap on his head, going around doing kung fu, and nobody would notice or care or question. Every time you saw his mouth was on camera and Denzel's voice was being used. I think Denzel's got a bit of the jitters these days, God help him. But yeah, like, and no one questions it. Like, you are frightful to yourselves, the fact you are just so afraid to think of these things and question these things and look at these things. And there could be, like, this whole thing in Ukraine going on and moving in, and essentially, I don't know. Anyway, all I'm saying is, be a little more critical, be a fucking afraid. And yeah, doppelgangers, fucking clones, presidents, your politicians, your pop stars, your Robert De Niro, rich and wealthy people all over the place, just fucking replace them all. It's very easy and very effective little maneuver to make, because there's so much of it already going on in the world. It's not absurd to think because they're using it for all these actors who want doppelgangers. I don't want to go to this signing. I don't want to go to this award ceremony. Musicians have this all the time. When you sign up at a musical, they're like, oh, we can have doppelgangers play your gigs for you. We can have musicians come in and we can have anything you want, kind of thing. And I've seen so many pictures of Kurt Cobain that weren't real pictures of Kurt Cobain. That was kind of scary. I reckon they put it in your head as well, and it kind of scare them a bit. It's like, we can replace you. You're not so valuable to us. Like, we made you what you are, and we can fucking replace you. And they probably scare all the pop stars with this all the time. Like, I'm pretty sure Ariana Grande is like on version 15. I think so many sadists and monsters probably wanted to butcher her that they just let them all have a go with the doppelgangers or something like that, and fucking replaced all of them. So yeah. Yeah, you just don't fucking know, man, and just be alert. Was that time? This is a weird thing you're supposed to be told this time, is to be alert. So I just thought I'd scare you a bit there about that. Now, yeah, hope you're well, Mr. De Niro. I hope you're well, Mr. Morgan Freeman, and yep, I'm still the real me. I know they did try to kill me twice on the same day, and they might have even tried to replace me then, but I'm still here. I'm still me. I think they can mess with a good thing. So yeah. And just in our sense, I think Leo Varadkar. Yeah, I had intuitions that Leo Varadkar, if you're Irish, he's one of our politicians, and I don't think they did Micheál Martin. I don't think he probably wasn't wealthy enough or powerful enough at the time. I think he's still legit, but I'm just looking around and like loads of your fucking cabinet could just disappear very easily. Like, these people aren't really on high security or anything like that. He'd easily just fucking disappear, We don't feel safe, Myanmar. I don't feel safe either, Myanmar, but be not afraid, Myanmar. Actually, it's time to be afraid, but hold tight, Myanmar. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Like and comment and like on. What do you think? Is your president doppelganger? Do you feel safe for these people? If they are clones, they have the utmost of mercy and sympathy for me, because you wake up in a fucking test tube, you're told to do something, you go out into the world, you find it's a load of bullshit, and then you're probably threatened by the company that made you, and like, we'll kill you if you do anything about it. And they kind of hold it. There's a really terrifying and pressuring system if you are like a kind of unwary clone in the same sort of situation. But yeah, just be aware. Just be obvious. I'm going to say Hollywood, people who invented this kind of crap, obviously with doppelgangers in the music business and the movie industries and all that, I'd say Hollywood and Miami. I always blame Hollywood and Miami and Florida for everything. But, like, they came to Ireland in the 1960s and cloned a sheep. Now, I know they could have done this in the 1900s, but they just wanted to introduce it to the Irish farming market so we could, consider clone sheep. They're not that bad, and we're eating clone sheep. You see all this organ harvesting going on in China. They're probably not original humans, they're probably all clones. I'm going to really scare you now, kids. North Korea, South Korea. They're probably fucking clones of South Korea, doing all the work for the South Koreans. They're probably all fucking clones working and slaving in some sort of communist environment, because they're all fucking clones. God bless them all. You know, it's a kind of, and I looked a lot at this, and it actually is kind of scary, and it is very fitting to kind of look at it and think about it. But the worst thing about all this is, kids, that there is a kind of female motherly angel, as far as I'm concerned, of something like Phoebe or something like that. It governs over this ocean of everything from little teddy bears that had human form to everything that had human form. So anything, like it might not be known to the Father or to God or something like that, and it might be a waste of air. Technically, there's more people breathing on the world than there's supposed to be people breathing on the world. But you know, if it has human form and mind, and you know, you can't just cerebralize these kind of things so much. So yes, what do you think about all this? You know, like, comment, and subscribe. If I get to 12 subscribers, I might be able to take control of the entire universe again. 12, I'm at like 8 or 9, getting there, pushing it. We're at 50,000, and shameful as a man of 50. All right, peace out.